My name is Rob Smith. I am the Executive Vice President of RunAsYouAre. I founded the entire thing. Don't let them tell you otherwise.
Don't listen to him. My name is Nick Lowe, one of the co-founders, because I like to share, of RunAsYouAre.
Today we're going for a run down to one of our local beaches, Kitsilano, and Nick and I are going to tell you about the origin story of RunAsYouAre. Yeah, I mean, I remember when you first reached out to us, PhysioRoom days, you were looking for a run shop to kind of align with. You had seen us online. I actually thought we were a sneaker store. And then we just kind of started working together on different events and activations, figuring out how to really kind of blend our two communities into one. We were both kind of feeling like both of our industries were a little bit stagnant. We kind of had to break out of the shell, do something different. And that's definitely the first time I met you, and the first time we worked together was only just a couple months later.
During PhysioRoom days, I was wanting to kind of grow the running community, number one. I wasn't a runner at that time, so I remember signing up for my first half marathon. This is back in, I think, 2013, something along those lines. Absolutely killed myself. I was a basketball player. I just put on some shoes and started running.
That photo. I remember that photo.
I remember that photo. And then I loved it because it was just a lot of people enjoying it and having a good time. After that, then I felt like I can start to actually help runners and design programs for runners and things like that from a physio lens. I started doing that. There was a very obvious gap. So I randomly just emailed you asking if you wanted to meet. It wasn't until actually I clicked into your website that I realized it was a running store, I was actually just going to meet you to talk about sneakers more than anything else. But then I saw the running stuff, and then I realized, hey, it kind of makes sense for us to kind of learn from each other and, things that you can do from the community lens and, of course, the footwear side and the expertise in running, and then on our side on the kind of health and wellness side.
Own the run, take flight. Everything always had some sort of like running or flight component to it. But yes, Own the Run was definitely the first sort of big series we went through that combined our two communities. Mm-hmm. And really the basis of that entire program was for PhysioRoom at the time to better connect with runners and offer a way for runners to strengthen themselves, better prepare for goal races, mitigate injury, things like that.
I think we had an RMT massage component to that throughout. Yeah. There was footwear, of course, bit of apparel. I think we even did some merch together.
Yeah, we did merch. Everything has to have merch.
Everything has to have merch. And then there was a bit of nutrition, just other things. So it was one big package that runners can feel like they're part of a supportive community, that they can get access to multiple different things.
So we also did the SeaWheeze Unclinic. Oh, yeah. So in 2016, 17, we were starting to think at Vancouver Running Co about how we were going to begin putting ourselves out there in sort of a coaching or clinic type capacity, but knowing we didn't hold all of the expertise to do so. Remember, I created SeaWheeze Unclinic, which was taking that traditional run clinic approach and saying, yeah, we're going to train you up, but during every training session, it'll be 2 hours. One will be a run workout, and then the other hour will be some sort of activation or engagement with a community partner. Yes. So PhysioRoom at the time, and then Myo Detox, as you went through that transition, we partnered with both at that time to offer strength programming through the SeaWheeze Unclinic, educational sessions. I remember in particular when Christina and some of the team came in and actually did adjustments and things like that for the clinic participants, which added a ton of value. People weren't doing anything like that at that time.
I got another one. I remember asking Rob from Vancouver Running Company whether he wanted to do a retail experience, like a pop-up experience in the clinic, and it would be a semi-permanent space. Yeah. It kind of always made sense to have a run specialty store inside a clinic, or vice versa. I think it usually happens the other way around, not this way. Yeah. But same, having the ability to do both under one roof, having run specialists working with physios, everybody could try on shoes, everyone could get physio. It just kind of always made sense.
Yeah, I would say we're actually doing that right now. But things don't always happen overnight. I think we're really, really good at being nimble and doing things quickly. Nick and I definitely talked about physio combined with running. I mean, we're going on 6 years probably by the time we actually pulled the trigger on it and ended up doing it. But at that time too, I was going through a ton of different changes with Vancouver Running Company. It's tough to get support within the entrepreneurial community. So when you align with another business, another entrepreneur, another group of people that goes through similar things, you definitely want to latch on to them and keep that relationship strong, because they're often your outlet for that. So I think we also became that over the years. And when Nick went through the Mild Detox acquisition and things like that, like there were certainly things that I know you questioned during that period, and just having somebody to chat about those things. And so we sat in a park one night and I lamented briefly about how that relationship went with the previous partner. And once I got that out of my system, Nick and I were already on that bench planning how we were actually going to bring Nick into the company, and then really what we could do after that.
Yeah, I mean, funny that we're sitting in a park again. So that was back in 2020 or 21. It was COVID time, I remember.
From that point forward, I think we felt like we had solid ground to finally build that health and retail integration.
When the right space popped up, we jumped on it quick, and we always knew we wanted to open a space in a busier street in Vancouver, on West 4th. So here we are today, obviously, and it's only been, I think it's been less than a year, like 9 months or something like that. And the future is super exciting for us. I mean, we have a lot of things within the space. We talked about this from that first park meeting. Like I didn't want to join number one as a kind of passive partner. I really wanted to join to roll up my sleeves, help you build, and really help challenge some of the things that were happening in the run space at that time. It took us a few years to get there, but I'm obviously excited that you decided to come along for some of the crazy ideas. But all along, I think we talked about we were going to do something kind of wild and crazy, and we were going to integrate technology. We were going to do healthcare with retail. We didn't want to just be in Vancouver, partly why the name change and the new brand. We wanted to be global. We wanted to, be a part of communities outside of our space. We wanted to join, start our own races, redefine what running is for people around the world. It's not just all about, races and killing yourself like that first half marathon that I ran.
I think the biggest thing we learned is these things don't necessarily happen overnight, which is probably a good thing because we iterated on this a lot. Remember the whole digital token thing? Learnings from that, but also origins from that. And we are building tech, which is certainly born from that. And it's going to better the community. It's going to better the business as a whole. And I think we're absolutely headed in the right direction. There you go. I put in the digital token side. Oh, shit.